Hello everybody, welcome back to another project. I am here at Fox Nuclear. I call it Fox Nuclear because my name is not a fox, and it didn't sound good. Not Fox Nuclear, that just doesn't sound good. So I'm here, and I'm here talking about nuclear things today because that's what my science project is all about. So let's go. Okay, well, let us go down into the uranium mine. So in the uranium mine, I will show you what the uranium is that's collected to work the nuclear reactor, and then I will go to a power plant that I built, and I will show you what happens. My experiment is going to be what happens during a nuclear blackout, because I didn't know what else to do for an experiment. Oh look, we're here at the mine. Because I didn't know what else to do for an experiment, because I didn't have that much information like to do an experiment, so I just did that because why not? So here's the mine. It's very cool. Let us go in. Just come here, and then I will show you what the uranium is. So the uranium is this stuff right here. This stuff is uranium. It gets mined, and then it gets processed, and then it turns into uranium-235, I'm pretty sure. And then that's used inside of the reactor, which turns into 236, which is completely stable, and then it just keeps doing that, and then reaction, I'll show you. But yeah, anyways, for my experiment, I'm only doing that because I didn't know what to do, and also, what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was going to say, so yeah. I hope you enjoy, and if you want to know how a nuclear reactor actually works, I will make another video on it on my channel, so, yeah, my channel right here. Yeah, right here, that's my channel, yeah, right here, yeah, yeah. Very cool. Alright, so just go search that up, and you can watch how a nuclear reactor works. I'll make it fun and cool, so that you don't just get bored. So yeah, anyways, let's go. Also, I keep forgetting what I was going to say, so that's always fun. Oh, right, I remember now. I'm not going to make a skit like I did last time, where I basically walked around and, changed looks and voice changers and did a skit, but I'm not going to do that because, I don't know, I didn't really like it. It seemed kind of cringe to me, so yeah, I'm just going to be more educational. Let's go. Okay, well, here we have the power plant that I took like 8 hours to make. Why do I keep doing this? Here we have the power plant that I took 8 hours to make, and we have the cooling towers up there, the water reservoir over there, we have the turbine building over there, and then in those 4 white pillars of doom, we have the reactor, and then in that building right there, we have, I forget what it's called, but whatever it is, that's where we're going to be going, and we're going to do a complete blackout with no backup anything, no backup services or anything, complete blackout at a nuclear power plant and see what happens to the reactor and especially what happens in there. So yeah. Okay, well, inside of this building we have a controlled pool of water that holds all the radioactive materials so that, they're not super. Like, the radiation, water does a good job of holding it, so that it doesn't go into the environment. But let's say a complete blackout does happen. Let's simulate that now. That water will slowly begin to boil away because of how hot the nuclear contents in it, and because it's not being cooled anymore because the power's out, it'll just boil away. And then once it's all completely boiled away, you can see it boiling away. So slowly getting down and down. Now it's showing the nuclear material. And then if we go out here, okay, as you guys can see, the sky is red because radioactivity. Okay, so this is not really that realistic, but you get the point. It's dangerous. It's cool, but it's dangerous. So here in the area around it, people would die, whether it be from radioactive poisoning or it be from cancer they get from this. So yeah, that's my experiment. Now this is kind of like what happened at so as I was saying, this is kind of what happened at the Fukushima power plant in I think it was Japan? I think so. I think so. But there was an earthquake, and then there was a flood, a tsunami, which made power out here, and then the tsunami made it worse, and just it went all bad, and then that exact thing happened, and then if we look over at the what do you call it, the reactor, what would have happened is the contents inside of the reactor wouldn't have been cooled, and then the reactor would have started to melt, and that would have caused an even worse thing. It would have been a nuclear reactor meltdown. It would have been an explosion. There might have been an explosion. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this, but yeah. So, yeah. So what my question was, because that's the actual project, is my question was, what what was my question? Why do I keep forgetting what I'm going to say? My question was, how does nuclear waste affect the environment? No, how does nuclear energy affect the environment? Nuclear energy is really good for the environment, actually. It's just the waste that's really bad for the environment. We have nowhere to put it, and there's no way to get rid of it. We launch it in space, that would cause an even bigger problem. If we dig way underground, we can't really do that right now because we don't have, like, a place to do that where it'd be undiscovered by people. And we just kind of have, like, large just fields just with just nuclear waste all over it, and then just closed off. And then we have pools, like, in there that holds a lot of the nuclear waste. It's this is like it's good, but it's not good. And then plus it's not good because a lot of countries, including like the US, mostly just the US, I think Russia too, but basically what they're doing is they're taking these power plants and they're just making nuclear weapons out of it. I don't know if they take the waste or if they just straight up just make nuclear weapons out of whatever comes out of this. I think it's the waste, but they do whatever they do and they just make weapons and it's not good. And then they also they also these things very expensive, but you know this is like the cheapest one. What happens is water comes through the reservoir over there, and then it gets cooled to the cooling towers, goes in so that it can cool the uranium, which is having a reaction by splitting it apart. I don't know, I forget how they do that, but then it goes through, and then the water that gets heated up from that turns into steam, and then it goes through and then turns back into water, and then powers a spinning turbine, and then after it goes through the turbine, it goes back up through the cooling tower so it can get cooled down again. I think so. Once again, not an expert on this. And then it goes back through the reactor, and then the water that comes out of that goes back into the cooling towers that, powers the generator is completely safe. Mostly safe, I think. I think it's mostly safe because it doesn't actually stay in touch with any of the uranium or nuclear or radioactive things. So yeah, if we go and we go. So here we have the generator, and then those go over into a switch yard, but then we have this, which is, I guess, connected to the turbine in there, which spins, and then this generates electricity somehow. I don't know, that's not my project. I don't know how it generates electricity. Scientist. But it just generates electricity somehow, alright? Goes into a switchyard, and then electricity. Except, you have to refill it with uranium, which means mining, so you'll never have free energy. Because this takes a lot of work to So it takes a lot of work to like mine uranium and stuff. But you have uranium reactors, plutonium reactors, and I think there might be thorium reactors, but I don't know. Yeah, anyways, thank you for watching my project, and I'm going to go now because, I have to edit this once again, so